Hello, this is a video overview for week 6. As always, before you start this week's task, please go up to week 6 and print out or save your online weekly checklist. This is going to tell you all the modules that you need to view to be able to complete our task, which for this week, our task is the comparison and contrast essay. And this is, of course, our second test essay. Now, before you jump into the comparison and contrast essay, I would encourage you to look at your example illustration essay, really take an in-depth glance at the assignment that I emailed back to you, the draft with my comments and my feedback, and please use that to improve upon your writing for the comparison and contrast essay. Now, once you do that, dive into actually working on your comparison and contrast essay. Now, the first thing you need to do is to look at the notes, the handout, okay? Right here underneath week 6, go to module 1 and click on A. This is the handout on the assignment. Again, you can print this out or you can save it. Just make sure you have it where you can reference it. It overviews the potential topics you're going to have for this assignment, because you're going to have 2 topics with a comparison and contrast essay. And then you're going to be discussing 3 points of comparison and contrast with those 2 topics. And I overview that in depth. You may want to have that printed out or just on your tablet or phone while you watch the lecture. To find the lecture, again, you're going to go look below Module 1 and click on letter I, and you're going to find essentially an overview of the assignment. Now, I go through the assignment like step by step, but I would encourage you to watch the video. Now, I did kind of forewarn you in the instructions, when you're watching the video after 40 seconds, I don't know what happened with my mic or my speakers, so make sure after 40 seconds, either put your headphones on or turn the volume up so you can listen to the lecture. And again, it's going to make more sense if you have the handout, the notes on the comparison and contrast essay in front of you while you watch the video lecture, okay? Also, I do have a student example for you. If you click on letter C, this is a student essay that's a comparison and contrast essay. Use this as a guide, as a reference of how you can set up your own comparison and contrast essay. Also, if you feel like you need any further kind of, instruction on this particular assignment, I do have some other videos. They're not made by me, but I found them elsewhere and they're very helpful. You'll notice pretty much letter D, E, and also F. These are really good resources just to teach you about comparison and contrast writing as a rhetorical strategy, but also how to write a thesis statement for this particular essay, because sometimes students find it challenging because you're dealing with 2 topics and 3 points of comparison and contrast. So you may want to check that out. Also, if you feel like you need help as far as organizing your thoughts, I do have an outline that you can print out or save and type in. This is letter B. If you want something more visual, letter G here, you can go into this website and type in your 2 topics and your points of comparison and contrast, and it'll kind of build a map for you so you can see how you can, structure your thoughts. Now, the good news is this week you do have an extra credit activity. This is not required. It's completely optional, but I encourage you to do it because you'll get 5 extra points on your comparison and contrast essay. But also it's going to give you a chance to interact with your classmates, or at least one classmate. Now, as far as completing this particular assignment, I give you instructions on the checklist, so you may want to check out the checklist where I give you some dates. Now, I'm going to scroll down to the very last section because this is where I outline this particular extra credit activity. So your extra credit activity this week is you may do a peer editing activity with a classmate on the comparison and contrast essay. Now, to do that, you need to first contact me by Wednesday, September 30th to let me know you're interested in doing this activity. Then I'm going to wait for other classmates to contact me. And then once I get everyone that's interested, I'm going to partner you with someone, and I will let you know Friday, October 2nd by 5 o'clock who your partner is. Now, when you find out your partner, I'm going to show you what you're going to do. You're basically going to go to our Canvas page, okay, and scroll up. You're going to click on People, okay. You're going to notice there's an alphabetical listing of me and your classmates. Now, I'm going to show me because I don't want to show any personal information. If you click on my name or your partner's name later, you're going to click Send Message. So when you're given your partner's name, okay, click on their name, send the message. This is basically just to introduce yourself and that you're going to be a peer editing partner with this individual. And you may also receive a message from this individual as well. Okay. Now, as far as doing this assignment, okay, that's the first thing you need to do is contact your peer editor. So you kind of just establish that line of connection. You know you can get in contact with each other. Now, after you contact one another, you are essentially going to email your comparison and contrast essay to your partner. Okay. Now, after you email that essay, you are going to need to print out that essay and maybe write comments on it. Or if you want to use Google Docs and like share it, and you can make, type in comments, or you can use the Microsoft Office comments. You can do this electronically, or you can do it old school where you print out the paper and write it, or you use it on the computer and you type in comments. Also, there's a peer editing sheet I want you to use to help you edit your peer's paper. If you look under letter H, okay, this is the peer editing sheet. When you pull that up, you have this sheet right here. Now, this is going to help you pretty much read through the whole essay. It's going to help you look through your partner's introduction, thesis, body paragraphs, conclusion. It also addresses some grammar errors you need to look out for. You either need to print this peer editing sheet out and write on it, and then you can scan or you can photograph it and email it to your partner. Or if you want to download this and just type in your comments, and then you can just email it to your partner as an attachment. So I want you to do the peer editing sheet, but also I want you to actually look at your partner's paper. And again, you can print it out, write on it, and then either scan it or photograph it and send it to your partner, the essay. Or you can use Google Docs and share it and make comments back and forth, or Microsoft Word comments, and send it as an attachment in that way. Do what's going to work best as far as for you to look at your partner's essay, the comparison and contrast essay, and give feedback on the peer editing sheet, but also on the actual essay. And then they're going to do the same thing for your essay as well. Now, I do have kind of some deadlines of a timeline of how I'd like for you to do this. Now, you're going to notice you need to contact me about being interested in this again by Wednesday, September 30th. Then you'll receive your partner's name Friday. And then later, I would encourage you to go ahead and send your essay as soon as possible, but at the latest, like Saturday, October 3rd, send your essay to your partner, because you need to make sure you have enough time to proofread it and look over it and give feedback, and then send it back to them as soon as possible on that Saturday. Now, as far as submitting the actual essay, you still need to submit your essay by Sunday, October 4th at 11:59 p.m., but I also want to make sure that you email me the peer editing sheet and also the essay that you revised and gave feedback on. Do that as well on that Sunday, October 4th. And again, this is not going to be a difficult assignment. You're giving advice on each other's papers, but make sure to verify you do it by sending me the checklist and also the essay. And that'll be 5 points that's added on your essay. I'm sure you probably noticed when I messaged you your example illustration essays that you have some extra credit opportunities with that essay as well. Please make sure to do this extra credit, okay? I know it doesn't seem like 5 points makes much of a difference, but at the end of the semester, 5 points on a test essay can make a huge difference in your final average. So please do any of these extra credit activities I mentioned, whether I mentioned them in the messages I send you with your assignments or their actual activities that we do as a whole in the class. As always, please, contact me if you have any questions about our assignment this week, the comparison and contrast essay. And I look forward to reading more, about you and learning more about your future goals. Thank you.